So tonight we have Liberty Forrest here with us, and is a good friend of mine, and she is actually in Calgary. So Liberty Forrest is an award-winning author of several inspirational and self-help books. She is also a Huffington Post contributor, an editor, and a columnist. Previously living in the rural England, she did frequent psychic phones in on the BBC for 5 years. Wow. And also took to the stage where she connected audience members with loved ones in spirit. So with a background in social work, counseling, and hypnosis, Liberty now uses her intuitive abilities to complement her work with individuals who are interested in getting unstuck in life and in moving further along the personal or spiritual development area. So welcome, Liberty, to the Blueprint for Happiness.
Thank you for inviting me to be here. It's very much fun.
So how are you doing today?
Just fabulous, thank you. How are you? You look wonderful.
I'm in Toronto, so having fun too. So we are here tonight to inspire people about developing the psychic abilities. And maybe I'd like to ask you a question on, psychic and medium, right? So how are they actually different?
That's a really good question. And most people don't know there's a difference. They hear, for example, that I'm a psychic and they automatically assume I'm a medium. There is a difference. All mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. When you're psychic, that means that you connect with the energy of other people and you can pick up things about them, about their lives, that sort of thing. But to be a medium is connecting with those who have departed this earth and are back in the spirit realm.
Isn't that interesting?
I sort of thought so. I mean, yeah. Just being able to say the difference. It's an interesting difference that people aren't aware of.
So how did you, you must have been doing it for a long time and understanding your ability, but how did you find out you actually psychic? What does it feel like, right?
Well, the first thing I knew was that I was a medium, and the psychic stuff sort of came after that. I was quite young. I was still in school, and one night I dreamed that my two best friends were dead.
Oh.
And I woke up and I couldn't shake this terrible feeling that the dream left. And I was getting dressed for school, and I was really bothered by this awful feeling. And I went to breakfast and I told my parents, and they looked at each other sort of strangely. And my dad got up and went around the corner to the living room and brought back the morning paper. And he just put it in front of me and pointed, and there was an article that said that they were in fact dead. They'd been hit by a train with their family on their way to a funeral, no less. There was a blizzard in Saskatchewan, and they were gone. So that was terrifying, actually. I mean, first of all, just to accept that they were dead and they were so young, but also knowing, because, excuse me, back then, there were no psychic television shows or psychic fairs or books or phone lines. Nobody was talking about this sort of thing. I mean, it was virtually the dark ages,
Yeah.
Nobody talked about this sort of thing. How could I know? How could I know that they were dead? That was really scary. And I often thought later, I was 16 at the time, and I often thought, why was that my first experience with knowing something I shouldn't otherwise know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think really what happened is I had a pretty turbulent, toxic childhood, as so many other people on the planet have had. And I think I was just so distracted by all of that. There was so much going on just to survive that I wasn't in touch with my intuition. There were probably things that happened that I didn't notice just because of my environment. But that one was a really big, in my face, can't ignore it, and I'm asleep, so I'm receptive. So I think that's how that happened. There was probably stuff before that. And then after that, it was sort of like, I guess like the floodgate was open. And all of a sudden, I started noticing other things, psychic things. I knew things about people that I didn't think I should know. I would have a feeling that something was wrong somewhere. So it kind of just developed on its own, really, or started that way.
Just amazing, really. So I would be really scared.
I really was for a long time. It was very scary, and especially as I said, back then. Yeah, talking about that, and then I had somebody say that they thought I'd been possessed by Satan, and that really terrified me.
Yeah.
That set me down a whole other road of fear. And eventually I learned that, this went on for years, and it just sort of naturally developed both abilities on their own. And I soon discovered, well, not soon, I guess, but a few years on, realized that it's a gift, and I meant to use it to help people in various ways, whether it's the psychic thing or the mediumship thing. They're completely different areas, but.
Well, we have Scott asking something. He said when he is falling asleep and meditating, he will see many faces coming right up to him. Wow, they are moving their mouths, and he can't hear them sometimes, but it seems like hundreds of faces, one after another. He said, I wish I could hear them or speak with them. But anyways, what do you have to tell Scott here?
That's a fabulous question, and he didn't say whether it's frightening or not, but I can imagine it might be.
He didn't say it's frightening. He actually wants to be able to hear what they have to say.
That's good. I'm just saying, at first, sometimes when that sort of thing happens, people can really be a bit freaked out, but he doesn't seem to be, which is good. Really, it's about giving them permission and about being open. So as long as you're open to receiving their messages, then that's part one. Well, actually, no, part one is make sure that you stay safe. Make sure that you surround yourself, visualize yourself surrounded by whatever light, colored light feels safe to you, whether it's white light or some people say blue light is protective. Whatever seems to be a color that suits you and feels safe and comforting. Make sure that you're safe, and you ask to only be allowed to connect with spirits that are good and that are for some positive, that have some positive, what's the word I want? They're for good. I'm sorry, I'm all all tongue-tied, but you want to make sure that you keep all negative spirits away. And then the second thing would be to make sure that you're open to receiving their messages, and you let them know that, and just say that you'd like to be able to understand what they want to say to you, and to just speak to you clearly in a way that you will understand. It might not happen immediately, but if you keep practicing with that, it should come. I would also recommend that maybe you do it like when you're sort of, maybe before you're in bed and kind of on your way to sleep, sit up and meditate, close your eyes, light a candle, have a sort of a nice atmosphere, create a little bit of a ritual around it so that you're prepared and keeping yourself safe, as I said, first of all, in like a bubble of protective light. And then really focus on what you can hear and sense from them. Because sometimes you might not hear words, you might just pick up feelings from them. It might be that they are letting you know that they're anxious, or they're fearful, or they're angry. They might give you images. It depends on your abilities. You might be clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, which is about seeing, hearing, feeling. You might be all of those. So just be open to receiving their messages, and ask them if they will make sure that you pick up their messages in a clear way.
Great. Well, I also have a little comment here because the spirits, they are they are as Liberty is saying, they are what kind of spirits, good, difficult, or maybe they challenge you, they're naughty or something. So they are coming from sometimes a good place, sometimes they are stuck to just like human being. So we really encourage Scott to practice Qigong. Practicing Qigong, your vibration change to the positive vibration. So the I would say it's like those difficult spirits sometimes don't get you because you are in the good energy, right? So
Right.
that's what may help you to really practice Qigong too. Yeah.
That's excellent. Yes. Got to keep your vibration up because you don't want to get sidetracked by any nasty spirits.
So what Qigong, I just want to add is what Qigong does is because your vibration is so positive, then you can jump over those difficult spirits. So you actually go to the one of higher vibration. So they will be just supporting and loving you. And that's wonderful. So is any audience here listening to Liberty has a question to ask? And then I'll see if Liberty can ask something. But in the meantime, I have something to ask, right?
Yes.
So when I know you will help other people, but so would you? I mean, as a psychic, I hear people say they don't read themselves, right? Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, do I ever wish I could? I could have spared myself so much grief and misery in my life. Well, that's not entirely true because for a lot of things, no, I can't. I don't read from it. I can't because we're too subjective, and it's hard to tell whether you're picking up your fears, your hopes, your excitement, your wishes. Do you know what I mean? You can get too much emotion in it, and you don't know whether that fearful thing is it spirit tapping on your shoulder and saying, well, that's a bad thing. It's hard to tell, but I can say that there's a different feeling. It's kind of like it's like that little voice inside. There's like a knowing, which is different. And sometimes there's that little intuition that we just don't listen to. And that's the only time we get in trouble is when we don't listen to our intuition. But that's not really the same as reading from myself. But there have been times, and it was always this way, like as a homeopath or even doing readings, anything where I've had appointments with people. I can't tell you how many times I'd make an appointment for someone, and as soon as I was writing down their names, I'd be thinking, oh, they're not going to show up. Sure enough, there'd be no shows every single time. So there was some connection there, I guess. Yeah. But aside from that, no, I don't think I have any more ability with myself than most people. I can tell sometimes when my loved ones are near, but not like when I'm reading for other people. I can get a sense of, my father might be near or something, but generally no. I think we're too subjective. That's the thing.
Yeah. So this is really, just really grateful and thank you, Liberty, to help those people think they are psychic for themselves. And then for her experiences, even doing reading on BBC, she actually honestly tell you don't do just for yourself, right? Other people do you.
It's good to develop your psychic awareness. Yeah. Everybody has it to some degree because we are all energetic beings. Science proves this. That's not woo-woo. There's science that says we are all made up of energy. And really all you're doing with honing your psychic abilities is learning how to tap into the energy of another person because we are all connected energetically. That's really all it is. It just takes practice and focus, and there are lots of things that you can do to improve that ability.
That's awesome. So maybe Liberty, maybe I will ask you, maybe see you have something you want to advise me from the spirits.
Just tuning in.
Thank you.
Just a second. Need the amethyst chunk. I wasn't prepared for that. Hold on.
Ah.
It's a habit thing. I have to fidget
Oh,
with something when
yeah.
my energy starts to
Oh,
go.
that,
I have to fidget with a thing.
yes.
Um, is there something new that you're creating? I've got this very strong sense of you kind of in the middle of or about to. There's some big new thing that you're creating. Does that make any sense to you?
Oh, absolutely making sense.
Whatever that is, that there's a huge amount of energy around it, and it feels like something really positive. And I feel like there's like a ripple effect with it. I don't understand what it is or what that means, but it isn't just this thing. It feels like it goes outward in some way. Does that make any sense?
Oh, absolutely. I'm working on developing an online program to have instructors in any cities by watching online course I'm creating, and also creating some healers just through the online course, right?
Wow. Well, then that's what that would be. That makes perfect sense. But it was just something very positive and felt like that was a really good idea. But there's tons of energy around it. It just felt really strong, and really positive. So all good. 2 thumbs up from Spirit. They're happy with that one.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I also want to teach people a bit about how I developed my career, this business of energy work. So it's how you don't need to have money, but you can actually have a few clients. But how do you get your few clients, right? From where, right? Nobody knows you. How do you start, right? I want to help people to start the journey, really.
That's a really beautiful thing to do, because you're right. People are really stuck with that, or stuck with that problem.
Yeah, so it's really coming from the heart to see. I was just telling myself, well, maybe when I almost getting the program ready, maybe just every month I can give a lucky draw to give the program out once a month to give to somebody, right? So
Wow,
someone don't
that's really
pay
nice.
and join, but I guess the thing is they have to sign up for the mailing list or something of that sort, so that I can lucky draw the people from the list. How I draw a person for the month to get a prize, right? And I have a teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's maybe something I can offer. So
That's good.
yeah, so
Could I offer a suggestion for people who would
please.
like to improve their psychic abilities? There's a simple thing that they can do. You start by doing a little bit of a meditation, or just close your eyes and just take lots of deep breaths. This is really good for you, Scott, to do this one. And you envision, as you're breathing, you're breathing in, and you focus on a light in the center of your chest, and just keep visualizing or feeling. If you're not a visual person, visualize or feel that light filling your chest as you keep breathing very deeply in and out. And then as you keep breathing, you fill your body with this light, and then gently sort of start expanding it out into the room, so that light fills the room that you're in. And then so it fills the house, and it fills the city and the country, and eventually you can sort of feel it or envision it covering the entire globe. And when you do that, I mean, I'm just rushing through now because we haven't got time, but when you do this over, say, 5 to 10 minutes, it not only makes you feel very peaceful, but it really does work to connect you energetically with others. And you will start noticing, if you do this on a regular basis, your intuition becomes much more finely tuned, and you start to notice, you'll be picking up things that you might not have otherwise noticed about your surroundings or about people or about yourself. But that's one place to start when you want to develop your psychic ability.
That's wonderful. So we also want to say hi to Michelle. Michelle is from Florida, and Ed, those are, I know them both. They are from Florida. So Michelle, she is also psychic. And then Edward also do Akasha record and that. So actually, so Edward said he gets tons of messages at times while he's practicing his Qigong. That's wonderful.
Mm.
And then Michelle said she is psychic medium. And she said, I find that sometimes when I am giving messages, they end up being for myself as well. Have you had that same experience? Is that when?
Yes. Yes, I have. There's sometimes, and it almost feels to me like sometimes that's why those particular people came to me for the reading, is so that spirit could knock me on the head and say, this is for you too, because you can't hear us.
Oh,
And you're not going
okay.
to somebody else for reading, so we're going to bring them to you this way. Because yes, there are times it's like it hits you square upside the head, just like a bag of bricks. Oh, that's for me too.
Yeah, that's
Thanks for that one. That's a brilliant question.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
Edward also said that greetings, Liberty. Will a Qigong and holistic be created? And is September 2017 the right timing? So September, the right timing. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Well, I think what he means is whether the energy for the holistic, for me, is like just like a industry that is people want holistic stuff, right? And then Qigong and holistic, I mean, other modalities, and how's it feel for September?
September of this year?
Yeah, this year.
That was interesting. I kind of saw and felt this wave of being like this. But I have to say it felt really good. I'm not sure what the wave meant. I don't understand what that's about. Does that make any sense? Can you ask him? Well, I guess I'm asking. Does that make any sense?
Well, my birthday is actually in September too.
Oh, good.
Oh, but I don't know where Edward is popping up the September coming from. Let's see. So because he's also intuitive, they all have reasons, right? So yeah.
And September feels good, but I don't understand what that wave was about. Unless that's maybe, is it going with the flow, or is it? It feels positive. Maybe that's what that was. There was just this gentle, rolling wave kind of feeling with it when I tuned in.
Well, he is actually like working on putting a holistic center together, teaching Qigong, right? I mean, with other modalities. So I guess maybe that might be the opening of his new place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see about the numerology on that too. Let's see, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, you do numerology too.
Yeah, I'm a numerologist as well.
So what?
That's brilliant. That actually, the month works out to a 1, which is fantastic for new beginnings. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh.
Perfetto.
Gee, that's wonderful. So, well, that's nice. So that's really beautiful. And Edward just said it will be a cooperative structure, and Spirit told him the fall is a good time for him.
Well, I guess that I just got the double on that. So yes, that sounds like something I would love to be involved with, but I don't know if commuting is essential.
Well, we'll see. We'll see that there's always possibilities. And then he has a question about 5th dimension, I think. Are we in 5th dimension?
The answer that came right away when you said that was some of us.
Yeah.
Just some of us.
Yeah. So.
But there's a big shift there. There's like it almost feels like, the scales that you see, the justice scales, what I got was this, like this. Like it's tipping that way. So I certainly think that's coming.
That's really interesting. Well, you are also a homeopath, right? So it's just amazing. You are a writer. You're editor. You do medium work too, and then you also do homeopath, right?
You live long enough, you can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So I will also encourage the audience if you want homeopathic medicine. So she also have a website for it, and I guess it's excellent when she's asking the intuition or the psychic about what medicine is the right medicine for you, right? I think that's really.
Well, that's not what homeopathy is about, and I wouldn't do that.
You would. I think you just humbly say you don't. It just come, right?
Well, with homeopathy, that's a really specific science, and it takes a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, my intuition really has helped me a lot with my homeopathic abilities, because it's an art as much as it is a science, and it's got nothing to do with herbs. People think the word homeopathy or homeopathic means holistic. It doesn't. It's its own science, and it's very complicated and individualized. It is holistic, but it doesn't mean holistic.
So I know that Liberty actually learned from England, one of the best school in the world, right?
Yes. Yeah, the Devon School of Homeopathy.
Yeah, so really one day probably want to inquire about that knowledge too, that you have so much to offer.
Thank you. I do, and I do treat patients over the internet. I see that 20 years ago, I was doing it when it was just phoning people. I had patients in lots of different countries, and then I would just mail them the remedy. So it works to just have a video chat like this and be able to help lots of people, because homeopathy is so powerful. It's been around for over 200 years, and it treats mental, emotional, and physical ailments, and it gets rid of the root of the problem. It's not like conventional medicine where we say it treats the disease because you get rid of the symptoms. What homeopathy does is it addresses the reason for the symptoms, gets rid of that, so then your symptoms don't return.
Yeah, so I know it really works. That's so wonderful. Anyway, so if there's anything Liberty want the audience to know, and please, mention it to them, because you have so much knowledge, right? So what's the new thing you are actually working on recently, right? Like programs or anything do you want to share with them?
Well, one thing that I'm really doing, two things kind of related, if I can. One, and I'm always doing all of these things just because they're kind of natural abilities for me. So I'm always doing lots. But the one thing that I'm really loving doing right now is I'm a writing coach for people who want to write their own stories that have to do with overcoming some sort of hardship or obstacle. So I'm coaching people who need some help with that. And because of my homeopathy, or rather my social work background, I'm just the right person for that, because you invariably have emotional things that will come up as you're processing a life story. So that's one thing I'm doing, but I've taken that to another place, and that's just doing these interviews. Well, they're not really interviews. I'm calling them conversations of hope. And I'm just going to be interviewing people. We had one the other day, you and I, and
thank you.
Your story, beautiful story about overcoming lots of hardship. And then I'm going to be making videos out of them and throwing them on YouTube so that people will be able to find these things when they need encouragement. And that's been taking off like crazy. I haven't got the videos done yet, but just the interviews and the interest in them has been really amazing. A lot of people are saying, wow, the world needs so much hope right now. And that's my whole brand. All these things I do, whether it's readings or homeopathy or counseling work or getting people unstuck or writing, coaching, all of it has to do with hope, because I know what it feels like when you don't have any. And I also know you can live a long time on just a little bit of it.
So I always feel everyone has a big story about themselves, but sometimes put it in words is really need some help, right? So
yes,
it took me a lot to put the first book together. It's still writing the second book is still a lot, right? So actually you do have a couple more questions. Do you have a bit more time?
Sure.
Yeah, so Michelle's asking about frankincense. The frankincense, I guess the essential oil, right?
Yeah. What about it?
Well, do you use it?
I have used it, yes, when I've been doing what I lovingly refer to as house exorcisms. When you go to someone's home and, get rid of evil spirits, nasty entities, whatever. frankincense is one of the things that I use for that. I used to do a lot of that in England, pack up my cauldron and my altar and my wand and all my other herbs and goodies, and away I'd go. Yeah, I have used frankincense for rituals.
And then Edward is asking about cancer and homeopathy. So,
have I got a story for him?
Oh, okay.
I had a woman come to me many years ago. It was about a Thursday, and she had a lot of abdominal pain and bloating. And she had just gone through a whole bunch of tests with the doctor, but hadn't got the results yet. So I gave her the remedy, and she sent me an email on either the Sunday night or Monday night and said she felt so much better. The bloating was nearly gone. Pain was nearly gone. She felt great. She'd been out gardening, had a wonderful weekend. And shortly after that, got the results of all the tests, and she was full of cancer from her cervix right up to her lungs. Now, this was like the tests were before my treatment. So she was horrified, didn't know what to do with that. And they said she was stage 4, terminal. They couldn't do anything for her. But we carried on with the homeopathy treatments. That was in March. And she rang me in August that year. And she was living here in Calgary. I was in England at the time. But she rang me and she said she just had MRI results, and they couldn't find one cancer cell in her. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So how long ago was this?
That was about maybe 18 years, 15 years, 18, somewhere in there. It was quite a long time ago.
Wow. I mean, we can get many things here that 15 so years ago, but maybe many people didn't know about it, right?
Yeah, well, it's something that I think a lot of people don't really believe in, and they trust the doctors implicitly, but the doctors, I'm not disputing, I mean, they have their place, but I don't want to, but it's just such a completely different approach, because if you just go and get, for example, if you just go get a tumor cut out, well, your body, your vital force, as we call it, and you would call it qi in Chinese medicine, but we call it the vital force. And it's kind of saying, I made that tumor for a reason. That's holding all my anger, or that's holding all my grief. I needed that for a reason. And now you've taken that out. Well, I'm just going to go make another one. So, you have to address the reason that your body makes these things before you, or as well as cutting it out if you're going to cut it out. Otherwise, you just get the same problem recurring.
Yeah, it's just Anne was saying that his sister doesn't want to use this and that. So that's life, right? We just provide, and then people don't, then we move on, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have a sad ending to that story I was telling about that woman. She was so thrilled when she didn't have any cancer, but her doctor kept pushing, and her mother kept pushing her to have a complete hysterectomy to make sure that it didn't come back. And she didn't want to do it, didn't want to do it. They pushed and pushed and pushed. And she finally caved and had the surgery. And then she died from a blood clot because of the surgery.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we should send her some blessings. So awesome. So maybe we will conclude for this evening, and then just gonna what I do is gonna go to do a little qi right now. So okay, so I'm gonna hide you for now, and okay, I'm gonna stop this video and then just do a little meditation. Okay, good. So okay, so hi everyone. So thank you for Liberty. We're so grateful for her time. So, and we will post her website too, so that you can know more about her. So we will just quiet down for the Mother Earth. Thank you. We always love ourselves, but also give love to Mother Earth. So if you think you're not loving yourself, then you will start loving yourself more. Or pretend you really love yourself. Then you start to pretend, and you're just gonna be, okay, how do I love myself? How does it feel to love myself? Or you think about, If I love another person or even an animal, then, oh, so we are just a creature too, right? How do you love yourself? So do something for yourself and just being grateful, give thanks. So want to give some love to the Mother Earth too. So we take resources from the Mother all the time. So it's time to give thanks to the Mother Earth. So relax your head, breathe in. We can do some song together. Song, neck, relax, breathe in. Song, shoulders, breathe in. Song, chest, breathe in. Song, abdomen, breathe in. Song, back, breathe in. Song, arms, hands, fingers, relax, breathe in. Song, leg, feet, toes, breathe in. Song, just give thanks. So we will we'll make a little hole for the mouth, so they can let the energy go in and coming out, or you can curl your tongue at the same time too, like this. Another thing I do very well here. So you let the energy in and out a few times, so it will release the pressure inside you. Breathe in. Breathe in. In. Okay. So as you have done a few times, it's almost like you are also detoxifying your energy, right? So as you're breathing in now, you can visualize the energy going down your body. And you think about all the way down to the leg, to the foot, through the center of your foot, all the way into the Mother Earth. You can go deep, deep down. And then you think about giving thanks, giving love to the Mother. It really is heated up right now because of the sun, right? So close to the earth. So it's really a lot of heat. So when we have time, we just think about the Mother, our Mother, the earth. So we will work on together. Breathe in. Thank you. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. So imagination is the same in a way like intention, right? So we send the intention like the earth is cooling down, right? And then deep into the earth, then it's like the energy is like, thing is like nice and cooling, like a breeze, or even like icy cold, right? Fish-eye, they are like that when they go down, and then as they go down, it's like the fire meeting coldness, right? And it will cool down the fire, really. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. You can visualize the energy go deep to the earth, or you can see the energy go around the earth, and then it sink right into the core, and it's cooling it down. Right? Breathe in. So this is beautiful. So I encourage you, the audience, if you listen to me, form your own group, tell your friends, ask them to spend time with the earth. It's like saying prayer, right, in a dinner. So the prayer is a good energy, like it's a chi that you're applying to things that you do in your life. And it's really powerful, really. It's the coming of the people coming together, right? So it's something you can all help the Mother Earth, and it's just beautiful. So, okay, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. And then we'll see you again next week. And then you will also see there'll be free offers. There's some DVDs that I'm gonna be giving it out free, actually, just with handling fee. Because there's some healthy DVD on nutrition. I think it should really go out too. So I just want to help people. So it'll be getting it posted on the school page. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.